Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to jump right into something that's totally flipping the script on how we build reliable software. We're talking about the autonomous revolution in quality assurance, and it's all powered by AI. But before we get into the weeds, let's just start with this one powerful idea. What if our tests were so smart they could actually fix themselves when they break? I know, it sounds a little sci-fi, right? But believe me, this is where we're heading, and fast. All right, so to really get a grip on this revolution, we gotta go back to basics. What have we always been trying to do with software testing in the first place? At its core, software testing has always been our quality gatekeeper. It's the whole process of making sure an app does what it's supposed to, that it does it well, and that it doesn't just fall apart when you look at it funny. It's basically about keeping our promise to the people who use our software. For decades, this has been a super manual, super labor-intensive job. And as our software has gotten more and more complex, the old ways, well, they're starting to show some pretty serious cracks. And look, if you've been in this world for any amount of time, this list is probably giving you a headache. We've all been there. Manual testing takes forever. The automated scripts we write are brittle. They break all the time, and maintaining them is a huge chore. It's literally impossible to test every single thing a user might do, so there are always gaps. And yeah, we're human, so we make mistakes. You add it all up, and what do you get? This painfully slow, frustrating feedback loop that just can't keep up anymore. Okay, so this is where the story gets really interesting. Because to tackle all those problems, a new player has entered the arena, and it is a total game changer: artificial intelligence. And what's so cool about this is how perfectly AI-powered solutions line up with those old problems we just talked about. It's like a one-to-one fix. That slow feedback loop, AI gives us faster release cycles. All that high maintenance, AI brings us self-healing tests. Worried about limited coverage and human error? Well, AI delivers way better coverage with much higher accuracy. It's a direct answer to pretty much every single one of our biggest pain points. Okay, let's peel back the layers here. AI is a huge buzzword, right? So what are we actually talking about? What's under the hood making all of this happen? So when we say AI in testing, we're not talking about some single magical thing. It's really a toolkit of smart technologies all working together, specifically things like machine learning, natural language processing, and intelligent automation. First up, you've got machine learning, or ML. The best way to think about this is as the predictive brain of the whole operation. It looks at all the data from past projects, like where bugs have shown up before, and it learns to predict where new bugs are most likely to pop up. This means teams can stop guessing and start focusing their energy where it's going to have the biggest impact. All right, next in our toolkit is natural language processing, NLP for short. This is basically the translator, the communication bridge. It lets the AI understand our language. So it can read a test case someone wrote in plain English or a bug report from a customer and figure out how to turn that into an actual automated test. And that brings us to intelligent automation. So if ML is the brain and NLP is the mouth, you can think of this as the hands. It doesn't just run tests, it does it smartly. You know how a normal automated test breaks if a developer changes the name of a button? Well, intelligent automation can see that change, understand the original intent, and just adapt. And that is that self-healing magic we mentioned at the start. It's a huge deal. Now, once you have those pieces in place, you get to the really exciting part: generative AI. This takes everything we just discussed and kicks it up a notch, a big notch. Because it doesn't just analyze and adapt, it actually creates new things. So what does that actually look like? Well, it's a pretty straightforward but incredibly powerful workflow. First, generative AI can actually create brand new test cases just by looking at your app's requirements. Then it turns around and writes the automated scripts to run those tests for you. And of course, it uses that self-healing intelligence to make sure those scripts don't break down the line. So, what happens when you combine all of this? The prediction, the understanding, the creation, the adaptation? Well, you get the next logical step in this evolution: AI agents. So what exactly is an AI agent? Simply put, they're autonomous systems built to do specific tasks. But I like to think of them as these tireless digital teammates, working 24/7 right alongside the human developers to learn, analyze, and constantly optimize the entire testing process. And look, this isn't just theory anymore. These agents are out in the wild right now. You've got GitHub Copilot, which is like having a junior dev pair programming with you all day. You have specialized testing agents like Kane AI that can build a self-healing test just from you describing it in English. And then you've got the really ambitious ones, like Devin AI, which is trying to be a fully autonomous developer that can handle entire projects on its own. So, when you put all of this together, the trajectory is crystal clear. The future of making sure our software is high quality, it's autonomous. There's a quote that I think just perfectly sums up this whole shift. As we step into the future of quality assurance, AI empowers us to test smarter, faster, and with greater precision. Let's embrace the innovation that drives excellence in software testing. See, it's all about empowerment, not replacement. It's about letting us focus on the creative, strategic work that really matters. Okay, so that brings us to the big question. What's your next move? Look, the tools are here. This stuff isn't on some distant horizon anymore. It's right here, right now. The question isn't if AI is going to change testing. That ship has sailed. The real question is for you, and it's how are you going to leverage it?